Now let us implement the task removal and project removal functionalities. So first let us do the task removal. So how this task removal works, when we click on a checkbox, that particular item gets removed from the list. Suppose I click here, it gets removed from the list. So this is actually a child element within this li element. As you see here, this checkbox is a child element to this li element. So once we click a checkbox, we need to remove this whole li from this list, right? So how we can write it? Let me write it after this. $input in square brackets, I can specify type equals checkbox dot click. That is, once it is clicked, I need to write the function. So function, and within this I need to write $this, which means it will be the checkbox. And if I specify dot closest of li, what will be selected? It will select the ancestor of this element, which is an li element, which means it will select the parent li. Okay, then we can remove this. So I am going to use the slide up effect to remove this, and during the slide up I want to remove the li. So slide up will just hide it, right? So within this I am adding a function, and within that function I am going to remove this. So how I can remove? I can specify $this, which means it will be the li now, because $this dot closest I will select the current li. So it will be slide up, and during the slide up I want to remove it from the list. Now let's check it. Save. Let me refresh. Let me go to work project. Let me click this. See, it got removed from the list and the numbers are adjusted automatically, right? Suppose I click personal and remove doctor appointment, it got removed. So it is very simple to remove the corresponding li. $this means it will be the checkbox, right? Then closest of li means it will select the parent element, which is an li. So we will get the required li that should be removed, and then we are using slide up to hide it, and within that slide up, that is during the slide up, we are actually removing the li element. So here $this means it will be the li, not the checkbox. Now there is one issue with this code. Let me show you that. Let me refresh. Let me add a project. Let me name it as videos. Okay. Add new project. It is added. Let me add a task, jQuery video. Okay. Add new task. Add task. Then JSON video. I'm just specifying some tasks. Okay. Though they are not meaningful. Add new task. Now let me click this. We are able to see the checkboxes. Why? We are adding it when we append the items, right? Let me try to click this. See, nothing happens. Why? Because when we use the click event here, it actually works only with the existing elements. It is not added with dynamically added elements. So these are actually already existing elements, right? So when we click those checkboxes, those items are getting removed. But these items are added later. So when we use this click event handler, it is not getting attached to the newly added elements. So what we can do? We can use the on method and specify click here. Even now this will not work because we need to use event delegation. So the difference between this and event delegation is that in this case, this element is responsible for checking the event happening. That is, when the click event happens on this element, it will work. But event delegation means we are actually delegating the responsibility to the parent element. So what is the parent of input type checkbox? Here the parent is projects, right? So instead of adding it like this, let me cut it from here, okay? And here let me specify the ID of the parent, that is hash projects, and as a second parameter to this on method, I can specify the element on which the action should happen. So in this case, this projects element is actually responsible for checking whether an action, that is a click event, happens on any of the input type checkbox that is a child of this projects. So this is known as event delegation. And if we just specify on click, it will not work. We need to delegate the responsibility. Okay. Now let's check it. Let me refresh. Okay, now this tick is appearing here. So what we can do, we can actually clear all the checkboxes at the beginning. So let me add a project. Let me add it as videos again. Add new project. Let me add a task 1. I'm just specifying 1, 2, 3 for the time being. Okay. Add new task. Add task 2. Add new task. Add task 3. Add new task. Let me click it. See? It is gone. So previously it was not working because at that time this click event was working only with the existing elements, and this project and also these tasks are added dynamically using our code. So if we want to attach an event, we need to do event delegation, and we have done it like this. We need to specify the parent ID here, then on, that is the name of the method, then the event to be handled, then the element on which it should work. Okay, so now it is implemented. Let me refresh. Okay, still we are seeing the tick and all. So we can clear all the ticks when the page is loaded. So let me write it. How I can specify? $input type equals checkbox dot remove attr. It will remove the attribute. And I just want to remove the checked attribute. Okay. So this will remove all the ticks from the checkboxes. That is, all the checkboxes will become unchecked. Let me refresh. See, it has gone. Let me add a project. Videos. Add new project. Add task 1. Add new task. Add task 2. Add new task. Add task 3. Add new task. Let me click. It got removed. So the removal of the task is done correctly. Next, what we want to do, we want to remove the project itself. So for that, we want to add some icon here, and on the click of that icon, that particular project should be removed and also the corresponding ordered list. Okay. So let's do that next. For that, we need to have the close icons. Okay. So where we should add it? Let us add it here. After this A element, let me add a span element with class name UI-icon, and I'm going to use the close icon. So it is UI-icon-close, and let me close this span. So it should be added to all the tab headings. So let me copy up to this and add it here as well. And also there is one place we need to add it, where when we add a new project. So here after this A, we can add it. And for this class name, we need to put it as single quotes. Okay. And now let us style it a bit. I think it will not look as we want. Now let me refresh. See, they are looking like this. I think we can increase the size using transform CSS property, and we can also make the cursor a pointer cursor on this icon. So we can style it first. It is .UI-icon-close, and for that let me first specify transform. Let the value be scale 1.5, which means the size will be 1.5 times, and let me specify the cursor to be pointer, and let's see it. Save, refresh. See, the size is increased. So if you want, you can move it a bit by adding some padding and all. I'm not doing anything with this. This is just enough, right? Now if we click on this, what should happen? It should close this title and also its corresponding OL element. So let us implement it. Similar to this, we should do event delegation. Otherwise, this close will not work with the newly added projects. So after this, let me write $projects, that is a parent, dot on, and the event here also it is click. Then the item is, you can specify span dot UI hyphen icon hyphen close, right? Because it is a span element with class name UI icon close, and that is the element on which this click is going to happen, and then we need to have the function that should be executed. So let me add it, and here we need to write the code. So how we can close the icon? We cannot specify it like currently active tab. Why? Suppose I am here and I want to click this will not be the active tab. So similar to this, $this dot closest of li, we can use the same. That is $this means it will be the span element, that is the icon, and closest of li means it will select the parent element. That is, here if I click this span element or the icon, this li will be the parent, right? So we can use the same. So here let me copy this and paste it here, and if I just specify index, it will give the index of that particular li element. And before removing that li, we need to get the ahref value. Why? Because then only we can remove the corresponding ordered list with that particular id, right? So let me specify where id equals, how I can get it? I can specify $main, then li eq. I'm using eq. Suppose I specify eq of 0, it will be the first li, because similar to index, eq also starts with 0. That is, it is 0 based. So here instead of li eq of 0, we can actually use the nth child selector as well. But to show you how we can use eq, here I am using eq. Okay. So eq of 0 should be replaced with the index. So here we need to get the index, and li eq of 0, then a, then I can specify .attr of href, and the 0 should be replaced using index value. So let me put a double quotes to close it, then put a plus, again put a plus and start the double quotes, and here instead of 0 it should be index. So if we use the nth child, it should be index plus 1, because nth child starts with 1 whereas eq starts with 0 because it is 0 based. Now we get the id. Now we can remove this li element from the main, that is the unordered list, and then we can remove the ordered list with this id. So how we can do that? I can get up to this, then close this and close this starting parenthesis, and I can specify dot remove. Now which will be removed? This will remove the li from the unordered list, which means the title will be removed. Now suppose I just remove this li from the unordered list and I am not removing the corresponding ordered list. What will happen? Let's see that. Save. Let me refresh. Now suppose I click this, it got removed. Suppose I click this, only the title gets removed and the corresponding OL is present here. So it should not be like that, right? When we remove a title, its corresponding content also should be removed. So what we should do here, we can specify $id. What will be the ID? It will be #personal #work, like that. That is the ID of the ordered list. And I can specify remove, which will remove the corresponding content as well. Then I can call the refresh method. So $projects dot tabs. Then I have to call the refresh method. So why I have specified just $id here? Because it will be returning the value like #work, #personal, like that. So here instead of specifying $, then hash, then the value, we are directly getting the id with hash. So I have just specified $id dot remove. Then finally I am refreshing the tabs widget. Now let's see that. Let me refresh. Let me add a project, books to read, add new project, add a task. Let me specify it as wings of fire, add new task, add task, power of positivity, add task, learn Java, add new task, work, add task, upload a new video. So add new task. Suppose I change the order. It is changed. Let me click this because it is already done. It got removed. Suppose I click this. See, it got removed. Click this, got removed. Click this. All the items are removed from the to-do list. So in this lecture, we have done the removal of task as well as the removal of project. While removing the task, it is very easy. We just have to get the corresponding li and remove it from the ordered list. So it is done here. And when we remove the project, we need to remove the title as well as the corresponding content. That is why we got the index of the project to be removed using this. Then we got the ID, that is the OL elements ID, before removing that title using the attr of href. Then we removed that particular title, that is we removed it from the main unordered list. Then we removed the corresponding ordered list using this ID we collected. And finally we refreshed the tabs widget. So to implement this to-do list application, we have done many things and our to-do list is now complete. We can add project, we can add task, we can change the order, we can also change the order of the projects, we can remove tasks and also we can remove projects. So this is the to-do list application we have developed from scratch using jQuery UI's different widgets and interactions.